Well, I'm back, and I didn't shut off the stream because I was trying to keep the internet issue going while I got on the phone with tech support. Apparently, the second they answer, the phone wants to work appropriately, which is a huge load of, we'll go with irony. It's also very annoying. Anyway, so I'm back briefly. I'm going to finish these walls like I said I was going to do earlier. And then we're going to go play some Apex if the internet holds out. I'm gonna have to find a new way to make some gates because these palisade gates are not gonna hold up now that I got stone walls. Kind of defeats the purpose of having all these nice stone walls if you got palisade gates to guard them.
What up, my Hubster man?
What's up? My internet sucks ass. That's what's been going on with me. Yeah, I just got off the phone with him. It was enough to break a stream. I kept the stream going. I'm still streaming, as a matter of fact, but this stream has been heavily interrupted, and I'm just very, very annoyed.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault. Nothing for you to be sorry about, but it just sure is frustrating.
Sorry of sympathy.
Oh. Well, I don't want your damn sympathy. I want them to give me the internet that I'm paying for.
God damn it. Right. Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
No worries.
I know better.
I pay $92 and change a month for internet that decides to clip out on me just whenever the hell it wants to.
Holy heck.
It's the best I can get around here.
That's
Small town
what I did
blues.
for mine.
Small town blues. I've got to have stream quality internet, and this is the only upstream, the only package that offers the upstream.
What's your upstream?
25? No, 11. My bad. It's
That's-
technically 10, but
that's-
they push it to 11.
That's a lot better than I can get.
Yeah, well, if
Six.
they can't offer it reliably, then it's not that much better.
It's not that much better if you can't get it reliably.
Yeah. I just had a stream going a minute ago where we actually had 19 people watching this game that I'm playing right now. But, again, if net is garbage, then it ain't gonna make it.
Nah, it sucks to hear that, Hubster.
It is what it is.
I went bowling today, though.
Oh, how'd you do?
I shot... Let me see. I've got the picture of it here. Because I took pictures...
You took literal, real-life screenshots. I see how it is.
The real-life screenshots of my scores.
Yes. That's what we're going with. Real-life screenshots.
It's a new way to put it, but it works.
I mean, back in the day, I don't know that anyone would have taken pictures of their bowling or whatever, but now people take pictures of everything. Not just as proof, but just as a pride thing or just because they want to or whatever else. It's just, like, when you were kids, you know, we went bowling. Like, even my family went bowling all the time, and even if we did really well, it just never popped into your head to take a picture. But nowadays, that's like the just lifestyle that we live, I guess you could say.
Well, back in the day, when you bowled a really good score, you'd take the carbon copy.
Yeah, true. But no one ever thought about taking pictures of it, though. Is my point. Like that's a new thing. So now, like, people take screenshots for anything, and so it's almost like all these Pinterest and whatnot, where people are showing off their meals. That's like basically a screenshot, is the way I consider it. That's just the lifestyle. It's the way we've developed as a society. You know, when you think about it like that, it's just kind of how people. I don't want to say devolved or evolved, but it's just how society started working toward, like, you know, take pictures, you know, proof, evidence of everything. Had a good day. Here's my evidence. Here's a smile on my face. Selfie. You know. Here's my meal. this is to prove that I have in fact consumed, or am about to consume, or have at least purchased pretending to consume such products. You know, I don't know, it's goofy, but it's the way life is, I guess.
So, out of a possible 25 points, we only got 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, the other team did very well, considering.
Mm-hmm.
Opened my first game with a 244, which is really good.
I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm just deferring to your expertise.
244. Well, to put it this way, over the course of the night, I got 25 strikes, 10 spares, and 6 opens.
Holy crap! What's an opens?
An open is when
you don't get a
strike or a spare.
Gotcha.
It's when you leave pins on the deck.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I shot 244, then a 204.
300's a perfect game, right?
Right.
Okay. So 124. I know there's like a handicap or something you work with.
Sometimes. Not with this league.
Okay.
This league, you're bowling directly with other people.
Gotcha.
And it's whoever bowls better.
That's the way it should be, in my opinion, but, I mean...
It's my form of PvP.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be. You're bowling against other people, as it should be, like, skill versus skill. Not handicap, not this, not that, not other. You know, your skill versus their skill. That's the way it should be.
Yep.
That way, if they're better, then you know it. Not, they're better because they got 20 free points, because as an average, they usually suck, or some shit like that.
Yeah. I like bowling on handicap leagues as well. But
I mean, it's fine.
For quite a while.
It's fine, but my thought there is traditionally, like, it's especially fine if you're not going for the, you know, who cares who wins, you're just going for fun. At that point, keeping score, honestly, doesn't even matter that much, except for self-improvement. But my thought whenever you're going to a handicap league is, like, you know, that sounds wrong, handicap league. Whenever you're going to a league with generalized handicaps, is your thought process is going to be, well, I would have won if, or they would have won if, instead of just, hey, you know, they beat me this game. They did better. They bowled better than me. That simple. But I remember this one time, and it irked me ever so slightly, like a sympathy for you almost. It irked me because I remember you bowled better than this one guy at one point, but he technically won. And I remember that story, and it just irked. Like, obviously you didn't care whether you won or not, so it wasn't a big deal, not some major ordeal. No one cares kind of thing. But it was enough that it irked me because I'm sitting there thinking, well, you know, you did better. If you were actually trying to beat them for some reason or another, then.
Let me ask you this. What's your handicap besides bowling and golf?
I don't know.
Exactly. My point in saying that is they tend... What? Is that with dogs?
Shogi has handicaps.
The fuck is shogi?
Shogi is Japanese chess.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No one cares. Move on.
Well,
Next thing! Next thing!
I think some of the handicap leagues just come from, if they did do skill-based leagues, the handicap is how they have to do it, because there's just not enough people.
Exactly. That's really what it is. Because literally, my league consists of 8 teams. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There are some huge leagues for golf and bowling, but for most places, you know what I mean, they do the handicap in order to have enough people for leagues.
Yeah.
I guess a team wouldn't want to just come in and lose every time, so I guess that sort of makes sense. Here's your participation award. I mean, in the end, James, if if you're just going to have fun, self-improvement, and whatnot, then that, that would never become an issue, never become a holdback, never become a throttle, and it would be fine no matter what. But if you actually came in with, like, super competitive spirit, where, you know, not necessarily, like, to prove that you're better, but just to compete, like, competitive spirit. If I ever came into a game like that, because there were some games back in the day, like, I can't think of any games right now where I'm super competitive, but, like, Ultima Online, for example, back in the day, I can't think of how you'd make a handicap, but just for, I guess, any game.
How would you make one in Unreal?
Alright, for, like, Unreal Tournament,
Sure.
if there were a handicap, it would be something...
Unreal Tournament 3.
No, I never played that one. I don't even know if that one was good. I heard
That's why
horrible.
I
Anyway,
decided to say that.
Game of the Year edition, like, it would be annoying, basically, to fight an actual tournament, because I did do actual tournaments back then, if for some reason, although mine were all Instagib, so this is a bad example. Oh, okay, actually, this is a bad example. Mine were all Instagib tournaments. If it took you 2 shots to kill the other guy, and they only took you 1 to kill you, that would be annoying if they won because of that. That'd be stupid. That's a bit more extreme, because in bowling terms, that would be like, hey, you got a 100% handicap here, pal. But you get where I'm going with this. That would be an irritating thing to me if that's what you're going for, just the competitive nature. But if you're going to improve yourself, just have fun, and scores are kept or whatever, but if you can shrug it off no matter what, then that's fine. But to me, if you play better than someone, then guess what? You played better than that person.
Oh, and there's actually handicaps set up that benefit the higher average bowlers. Well, it depends on how you set up your handicap. So if you set up 100% handicap, that actually gives a benefit to a lower average bowler.
Because you can't get over 300, right? So if you bowl a 240, it's still a 300, it's not a 480. Is that where you're going?
Yeah. I mean, there is a limit, but if you have 100% handicap, it's easier for them to shoot over their average than for you to shoot over yours. But if you take the handicap and you tweak it and you make it a percentage, like 90 or 80%, that benefits a higher average bowler. They actually get pins back because while it's easier for the lower average bowler to bowl over their average, the higher average bowler is on average going to bowl better than them, and they don't get as many pins back from being that gap.
Yeah, I get it, but consider me old-fashioned when it comes to competitions. Level playing field is, like,
well,
it's
not
glory.
A level playing field. I have 16 years of experience on a lot of people.
But it's still just as fair if Joe Schmo, who came in and bowled his 3rd game, for whatever reason, he has the arm of Titan and the aim of frickin' Perseus. He comes through there, Greek gods, I don't know why, just go with it. He comes through there and he rolls a perfect game. It's still a perfectly even playing field. All you have on them is the more experience. There is no score sheet, there's no chart, you don't have a mechanical arm, and neither does that guy. Like, there's no... Other than your skill and your experience, that's literally the only thing that's being pitted against the other player. And 16 years experience, that's nice and everything, but say you bowl once a month for 16 years, that's 16 years experience. Say this guy goes 3 times a day for 5 days a week, 16 years, that's more than your 16 years of experience, so that's still all intangibles.
Yeah, true. No, that's why...
I mean, technically, you could say I have 29 years of experience in bowling. I just bowl roughly once every 2 years. Because I've probably gone about 15 times in my life.
Back whenever I did tournaments in Urban Terra, I did pistol only tournaments, and there's 2 pistols in it, a Beretta M9 and a Deagle.
Deagle.
And so Deagle's 7 shots, Beretta's 15 shots. Deagle goes roughly 2.5 times the damage of a Beretta. So it was probably the 3rd tournament I was going up to defend, to defend the championship and win my 3rd one. They changed the rules in that kills were worth points, but also
Shots?
yeah, shots were worth points.
So then Berettas
the
were
less
worth more.
shots that you used to kill someone, the more points you got. It wasn't how many you hit, it was just shots.
Oh, so Deagles became...
And they did that because I was using exclusively a Beretta. And I still used only a Beretta in that tournament. I just had to aim for headshots, and I still ended up winning.
Oh, you know what that says to me? Wait. You know what that says to me? I'm gonna interrupt for half a second. You know what that says to me? If they literally freaking did that change just for you, that shows that you had a good enough strategy or good enough make or good enough skill to force them to tweak the freaking game. That's like what they did with Ultima, all these private servers, and what they did with Fallout Online, like versus me and my wife's build. They literally had to tweak. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway.
Anyway.
But I ended up not being invited to the 4th year one, so I didn't get to defend my title. And they're like, we're going to do a whole new series, and you're not invited. I'm like, okay. This is sad.
Proof. That's just proof right there. And that was, which game was it? Urban Terra, that's right. I remember you being pretty good at that. I'd probably be bad at it because my hands aren't as good as they used to be anymore. But I'd love to go back and play like a legit tournament for Unreal Tournament Game of the Year edition. That would be pretty cool, I think. Let's see, we need, what, 20... No, 18 or something.
So anyway, I had 2 really good games, 1 average game, and 1 I bowled like crap.
Trash.
That was the last game.
Despite your 16 years of experience, if you and I ever met up and we went bowling or something, I would get my ass kicked and I'd be fine with it, but it would be score against score. Don't give me this handicap, because I would feel worse, I think.
That would fine.
I would feel worse if I won on a handicap.
If we ever go bowling, it'll just be score versus score.
That's right. And we'll have some fun. You'll kick my ass, you'll get to trash talk, and we'll just have fun dishing shit back and forth while we're playing the game. Just having some good old-fashioned fun together.
Oh, it's fun. I enjoy it. It's my PvP.
Oh, well, I don't know if you trash talk or not, but if you're like part of our family, we always trash talk. Whatever game we're playing the other day. Caleb got to experience. I guess it's been a couple weeks ago now. Caleb got to experience it with some freaking. We played Smartass together and we played Monopoly together. If you ever get us in a card game, doesn't matter. We're gonna trash talk just for the hell of it, and it's all fun spirited. It's not you actually get pissy at each other. I don't recall. Probably me, because that's the way my brain works. Is if I don't remember it, it was advantageous toward me. In this case, yes.
I tried that, but I still got charged for it.
That is a different subject and a horrible subject to be talking about, because I have some strong opinions on that are very unpopular. I'm just saying.
He's an incel.
No, guys are apparently always at fault no matter what. If a woman's drinking, we're supposed to assess how drunk they are. I guess it's our fault if they crash into a bus full of children and kill them all because we didn't stop them from getting in the car when they were too drunk to drive, too. I mean, it's all our fault. That's fucking dumb. Just my opinion. That's dumb. Because it defaults to the guy's fault if a woman had a drink and chose to have sex. That said, there are some sleazy guys out there, and I get that, but the guys always at fault system is pretty dumb.
I believe our justice system was supposed to be set up as innocent until proven guilty, but yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. Even making rape accusations now just immediately are believed and will ruin the life of the truth most of the time if it was fake.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate amount of truth to that.
Even after, you know, it's proven that it's false.
Yeah, there's an unfortunate amount of truth in that.
You ready? You got 2 walls. How many walls you got now?
Still 2. I was just making all the base. Wait, I've got all the stuff. I'm finishing crafting it. This game is a lot about crafting step by step. I have to take big rocks, turn them into stones.
Mark, you said not
wait.
2. It is now.
I got distracted and stopped crafting, and I'm ready.
I thought it was later than that. So, yep.
No, it's still. I literally could have had it in 5 minutes. Wait. Let me finish. I want. All right, get out. He don't want to know. I gotta take big stones and turn them into small stones. Take those, rub them together, turn them into roughly hewn stones. Take roughly hewn stones and a pickaxe and turn that into hewn stones. And that's just one of the components. I gotta go out there and I gotta find limestone, mine it up, burn it in a pottery kiln until it becomes lime.
Did you actually finally find limestone?
Yeah, I can now. I couldn't see it because I wasn't talented enough to understand what it looked like.
Oh, so then magically it just started appearing.
Basically.
Yeah.
It says on the description, you won't even understand what to look for until 16 mining or whatever. It says something to that effect. So you can't even see it until you hit that level. So that's kind of cheesy, but it is what it is.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Civilization.
Sorta. This is, it's Wild Terra. But anyway, I gotta get limestone. I take it home in a pottery kiln with kindling or cuttings or branches or whatever you want to use as fuel. You gotta burn it until, cook it till it's just lime. That's the second component that you need. Third component is hewn boulders. So it's hewn stones, hewn boulders. And a hewn boulder, you gotta take those big rocks, the ones I was talking about breaking up earlier. You gotta take that with a small rock and turn it into a roughly hewn boulder. And then you take that with 2 hewn stones, roughly hewn stones, and turn that into a hewn boulder. So you need 6 of those, 15 of the hewn stones, and like 6 lime per wall. Ooh, I hope she's okay.
She just has coughing issues sometimes. Like, more often than I like. But the doctors can't figure out anything wrong with her, so...
Does she smoke?
Nope.
Has she ever?
I think I've smoked more than her.
I remember, and this is just, it was considered a psychosomatic thing. I started when I was 9 years old, and I went until I was like 15, and this is pretty horrible examples because of how young I was and how dumb I was. But I basically smoked for a long time as a dumb kid. And, hang on, I need to find something to eat real quick in the game. I guess I'll just eat one of these stupid buns. Even after I quit smoking, a while later, my lungs were perfectly fine. But I coughed for probably about 3 years, just as like a habit almost. And I don't know that for sure that's what's going on with her at all. It might not be, even slightly, but it's just something I thought of, and I don't know, it might be. I don't know if it's like like when you have hiccups and you hiccup for like 45 minutes and then all of a sudden it stops. You're like trying to encourage a hiccup because you just got that feeling that you need to hiccup. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Been there, done that.
So, it probably isn't something like that, but there is a possibility. So I figured I'd bring it up.
Possible.
If that is the scenario, then the only way to actually improve it would be to recognize it and then actively start, like, avoiding the cough like you do. Like, finally you give up with the hiccup thing and just like, alright, I gotta stop because I'm not gonna hiccup again and it's over. Huh?
Speaking of, I'm getting sick.
You're getting sick?
Yeah.
Like how so?
This throat prep hasn't gone away.
Oh.
Look up headache and sinuses and won't go away out of it.
Take some medicine.
I have all day.
Well, that sucks. Don't get me sick. Get better.
What was that?
Yes, no, yes, but not while you're sick.
All right, we'll work on that later then.
Okay.
I just looked at the kid. I just looked at Chiba and she goes. Just stayed like that.
One Fallout 76 for Hubster.
Oh, I do plan on going back and playing that again when they get the hardcore PvP mode going, because that game was fun, and I feel like without the slap on the wrist system, it'd be more fun. Because like it'd be frustrating too, especially if you drop some of your favorite stuff or whatever. Because I hear that they're gonna have that too, so it could potentially be frustrating. But I think it'd be just so much more fun to play the game and have to look over your shoulder. It's an apocalypse. It's a scary, scary world. You're dealing with zombies and all that, and then you're gonna start going like, all right.
Did you watch that vid?
Oh no, I started to, but then I got pulled away from it and haven't got back to it. So I'm like 13 seconds in. Literally, it's that bad. I still plan on it, and I've got it there on my second screen, just sitting there hovering over your message. But I got like 13 seconds in and then got pulled away for something. Fallout 76 is what we're talking about, Caleb. Well, they're gonna do a hardcore, quote-unquote hardcore mode, and I'm actually excited about trying that out. But I have no interest in touching the game until they bring that back up. Oh yeah, I read that. Some guy, but to be honest, I looked at the amount of ammo they were talking about he had, and it does sound a little fishy. But to me, that's a dumb reason to ban just because it sounds fishy. They could not determine for sure that he had.
He came out and he showed and said and told and explained how he had it.
How did he have it?
I don't remember. He had a whole long ass article.
Well, and that's pretty sad. I hope they
and
unbanned
at the end
him.
of it, he's like, if Bethesda wants to, ban me, that's fine. I'll take my thousands of dollars elsewhere.
I hope they unbanned him if it was totally legit, because I think that's dumb. But I did see, and I also found that pretty entertaining. Like, I laughed at it too.
In Sweden, if you buy a mouse pad from any of the big chains, you get a free copy of Fallout 76.
That's great. Is that true, or is that a meme?
No, that's true. There's other
That's
places
great.
doing it with controllers, with USB sticks.
It's because Bethesda gave out so many copies, and people are like, well, we can't sell it.
Yeah, we can't. No one wants this shit.
They're still considering, I imagine, going free-to-play on the game.
They came out and said they weren't. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah, I know, but that's what they said. How many times have you seen the company say something and then not do? Although Bethesda's probably a whole lot more hypersensitive. Yeah, they've said and then not done, at least on one occasion. In fact, if you want to be asinine about it, you could say they did it twice with the nylon thing or whatever. That's they said you're getting this, but then you got that, and then some guy came out and said, oh, it'd be too expensive, or something to that effect, and the next guy came up and said, no, don't listen to that guy. We're fixing it. Just send us your details. I mean, I don't really want to get into the long debacle that is Bethesda, but I'd like to think they're hypersensitive to fixing their issues right now rather than creating more. So.
What's the second one?
Survival is due on 26th.
March 26th? That's not too far away. I'm looking forward to it.
There's a new update for Classic today.
Classic what?
You read it? Wow.
Oh, no, I haven't.
It's their content timeline.
Oh, so do they have an actual release date or no?
Oh,
Just
no, I didn't read the article. I really don't care.
I'm still looking forward to Vanilla World of Warcraft too. So that's definitely coming out this summer because Blizzard Activision can't afford to not, even if it's a totally shit product, it's coming out this summer. They can't afford to not release it this summer.
It'll be through patch 1.2.x. Second
Point
update
X?
will include content that was original 1.3 and 1.4.
Yeah.
Third update will do 1.5 and 1.6 and so on.
No timeline though, I'm assuming.
No, our first phase focuses on launching Classic with Onyxia and Molten Core, but they're holding off on Dire Maul.
Dire Maul?
Meriden is still in its first phase. Yeah, Dire Maul, the place where you get geared. They're holding off on.
What I'm still very strongly hoping for, but you know, it's hoping against hope, you could say. I'm really hoping that they do a vanilla server that's at that point, because at one point they had a vanilla server that was, I mean, this was all of vanilla, I guess you could say. At one point, you got in, you could kill other players, you got honor for it, so it was incentivized PvP. Not that the PvP wasn't pretty common, because it was. Back in the day, everyone had the mindset, red is dead. But then they gave us an incentive. They gave us honor, which you could trade for, like, cool-looking cloaks that didn't do much, and, you know, just titles and stuff like that. But an honor base, so that way people could see how much and how well and how many people you killed. Base PvP system, but then no...
No, it's not coming.
I didn't figure, but...
Anyway, Phase 1, which is classic launch, will have Molten Core, Omnixia, and Mirrodin. Phase 2 will have Dire Maul, Azurigos, and Kazakh. Phase 3 will have Blackwing Lair, Dark Moon Fair, and Dark Moon Deck drops. Phase 4 will be Zul'Gurub and Green Dragons.
I didn't make it to Phase 4 in the original vanilla.
Phase 5 will have Ankari War Efforts and Raids, and it'll reconfigure the dungeon loot. Phase 6 is Nexramus and Scourge, and they've yet to determine exactly when Phases 2 to 6 will occur, and PvP content is notably missing from the list above. That's because we're still evaluating our options regarding PvP, as they also changed over time, or PvP rewards, as they also changed over time, both in power and in terms of which PvP rewards were available.
I hope by that they offer at least one server that's not going to have Battlegrounds.
While we can't elaborate on every detail of every step we're going to take yet, we're here reading all your questions, and we're going to keep the answers there.
Fair enough. I made my 2 walls, so I'm going to go ahead and shut down this stream. Everybody, if you guys enjoyed the content on this one, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, even though it was broken all to hell thanks to the internet being shit. Feel free to like, follow, subscribe, or don't. That's all up to you guys. We're shutting it down. We'll be coming back live in just a little bit with some Apex Legends, playing another game for a little bit, and then we'll come back later on tonight, possibly come back later on tonight with some more of this, and some more Crown of the Gods. Until then, everybody, in just a little while with some Apex, remember that you rockin', wow!